Hello, this is Crypto CJ. Welcome to today's trade of the day. It's the Monday night Zoom edition. Bitcoin had a big drop this morning and a pretty good recovery this afternoon. So let's check out the chart. Okay, you guys should be seeing my 2-hour Bitcoin chart. Is that right? All right.
Yes.
Good, thank you. One time, the reason I do that is because one time I thought I was sharing my screen and I talked for probably a good 5 minutes before somebody pointed out to me that I wasn't sharing my screen. So, and it was right at the beginning, just like this. So that's why I always ask, even though I get a little message from Zoom saying you are screen sharing, but I don't entirely trust it. All right, so this is the 2-hour chart. And I was looking at just the overall drop since January. Yeah, right about here, January 1st, 9 a.m.
January 5th.
And, to the present, Bitcoin's dropped. It dipped, this morning just below 40. Wicked back up pretty quickly, but we did experience a 17% drop in that time frame. And we did recover some of that to now we're just around 12-13% drop. But I'm really hopeful that this recovery we're seeing, pushes some things up. I know I've got some long positions that are been beaten down pretty well. So I took one for the team today and bought a short in XLM, and now it's not doing very well, and my longs are still not doing very well. So now I've got negative in both directions, but that's okay. It'll play out eventually. All right, and so I just drew this weak little trend line. I don't know if anything's going to come of it, but a recovery this steep is unlikely. It'll probably be more, jagged like this. But anyway, I didn't have time to look at the news. So as you know, on TradingView, we've got this news button here. And I'm going to take a quick look to see if there's anything that may have caused things today. Not really, at least not in here. So does anybody know of any news that that happened today that might be affecting things? So it's okay if you don't, but all right, let's bounce over to Ethereum. Same thing, 2-hour chart. This one's dropped a little bit more than Bitcoin did. As of January 4th, we're down, almost 25%. Did recover some today. We're at 20% down since the 4th.
Which indicator is that?
There's a few indicators.
No, the one that says the percentage down. I was just curious.
Oh, it's the ruler.
Oh, okay.
You can either click on it here, or you can click the shift button and drag your mouse on a computer, and it'll do that too. But
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, so this is our Bitcoin and Ethereum charts. Been beaten down pretty severely, but they're holding. 3,000 held pretty well on Ethereum, and 40K held pretty well on Bitcoin. We're optimistic those are the floors. Not entirely sure, but we'll see how it plays out this week. Any questions on Bitcoin and Ethereum and the overall market? Okay.
Yeah, CJ, I just got a question.
Okay.
How long are you willing to hold a bag that's red that keeps getting red?
It's a good question. Comes up frequently.
Excuse me.
As a day trader, there's an opportunity cost of being stuck in something for, a week or two, or, much longer than that. On leverage, I don't really have much choice. I either have to either stay in the trade or take a loss. On spot, you have more options. You can move it off the exchange if you don't like what it's doing and stake it. I've done that before. I'm usually willing to hold about a month generally. If that hold is inhibiting my ability to make other trades, then I'm more inclined to take a loss and get out. If I'm confident that freeing up those funds will allow me to generate trades that will make up that loss and even go into profit. But it's kind of a
Well, that's
general
kind of what
answer.
I'm thinking. If Bitcoin keeps going down, breaks below 40, and some people saying even as low as 33, and that's going to pull all our red bags just way, way down.
That's why it's always best if you're holding something that's in profit, you sell it when
Well, no,
when the
I'm
market's
really
pumping up.
specifically talking about the long positions that are really underwater right now.
Yeah, I got a few of those too. I have some decisions to make. I bought some in late November, with swing trades that didn't do much. They're about 50% down, and but that's on an account I don't use it very much, so it's not inhibiting my ability to trade, my primary day trading. So I'm still in okay shape on those. So I'm content to hold them for a few more days to let them play out.
Right.
On the leverage side, on the spot side, you can hold those as long as you want, but seeing continue to go red, it can be annoying. That's why at some point I'll probably move them off the exchange and stake them somewhere, and that way they're not in my face anymore. Just check the staking every few days.
I'd rather be in a long right now than a short.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
The reality is you should not be trading any kind of money, whether it's spot, short, day, whatever, that you can't afford to lose.
Can't afford to
And
lose.
you should have known that position. You should know about those chances before you step into the arena. So if you're panicking now, did you really plan correctly? That's the question.
Mhm.
Well, that's easy to say.
I'm living it just like you're living it. It's okay.
Yeah.
Time to buy the options there.
Are the majority of the people in here just day traders?
Well, that is the focus of this Zoom, is not just day traders. A lot of us do, even I have some holds. I hold Bitcoin and Ethereum.
Yeah, that's what
But
they're-
that doesn't take much time or energy or that to hold something and check on it once or twice a day. So the goal of my Zoom is to take Altcoin Alert and iCoinPro and Carbon and use those to generate profits, preferably daily or at least every couple days. So that's that's what we focus on here. With that in mind,
I'm not much of a day trader. I'm more of a trend or hold
okay,
trader.
that's cool.
You can still learn.
Yeah, and
Yes.
you can take these concepts, the 1, 2, 3 dip, and the various indicators you see on in front of you right now, and use them on the 1-hour chart or the 4-hour chart. I was thinking, I was doing this little prep before this, and I was thinking, man, I wish I'd have known about this. Set an alert on Ethereum back on January on this bearish divergence and caught this, this move like that. That would have been, 8% on leverage. That would have been a really nice trade. So I've talked about setting alerts on these divergence indicators on the 15-minute chart, but I'm thinking of going to the 30 and the 1 hour too to catch some longer moves. So we'll see. All right, well, let's get over to Altcoin Alert and see if we
CJ,
can find something over there.
CJ,
Yes.
are you finding that chart, the divergence with many, whatever it's called?
Yeah, with
Are you
many
finding
indicators.
that you actually can trade off of that?
Yeah, I do it all the time.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what I like to do is identify coins through Altcoin Alert and iCoinPro, and then I'll set an alert on one of those and evaluate when the alert goes off. But these longer time frames, they don't go off very often. The last one here went off at 11:30 yesterday, and then not another one again until 7:30 this morning, and none the rest of the day here on Mana that I just happen to have up. This is one I was looking at. So I was trying to trade this on a 5-minute chart, and had some success, but not as much as I would have liked. It was just a little over 50% when I was using some stop losses on some scalping strategies. But anyway, it's when you take this information, I think on the 15-minute chart and longer, and match it up with other indicators, the MFI, the RSI, or I'm sorry, this is a momentum indicator here, RSI, MACD. So you get the alert here, and then the other indicators are trending in the right direction. Maybe you get in here, dips a little bit, but now you're up 2.8%, 2% on leverage, on 10x leverage, 20%, that's good stuff. And even 2.8% on a spot trade is a good day trade. So I'm liking these divergence indicators quite a bit.
Average.
Pardon?
On average, how many trades do you do a day?
5 to 10.
5 to 10.
Yeah. So, all right, let's get over to Altcoin Alert and see if we can find something to trade, or at least something to evaluate and put some alerts on. Okay, we'll sort by the AA score first. Let's refresh. And we don't have anything very bullish. That's a bummer. About an hour ago, I was looking at Raven Coin, and it was very bullish, so just barely like 81 or something like that. Since I have that one open, we'll go ahead and check it out. We'll go to the day chart first to get the big picture. It's actually had a nice recovery. Hit a high in November, dropped in December. Well, it dropped since the 5th.
So when you look at that, where would you have put your trades in?
Well, this is a process. I'm going to look at the day chart first because I like retraces. So I want to get an idea of where it's been.
Okay.
So I know from this chart that, a few days ago it was up to 13 cents. Well, now it's at 9 cents. So that's something to keep in mind. And then we're going to go to the 1 hour and see what the more recent, high is. Yeah, that 13 cents we just talked about.
Funny, CJ, that just popped up on AA alerts. That's very bullish for the next 48 hours.
Okay. Cool. So, yeah, and then yesterday, it was at 10 cents. Now it's at 9, so we have a 10% drop. So I go to my 5-minute chart and see if I can find a dip sequence or, some nice candle action that that's going, my way. And I have exactly what I don't want to see right now. I have, a very squeezy Bollinger Bands, less than 2% between them. That's not a good sign. Volume is very low. A little bit of bearish divergence, but it's just not moving much at all. So I don't like this. We did have a dip sequence here this morning, but it's a really long one. I can't even, there's too many dips here to count. So, but when you get this action here, a pump, then you might wait for the retrace, and then you see it take off on just pure candle action. And to some degree, the dip sequence training, probably want to get in around here. Maybe 3%. Probably look at this as these candles here, some resistance, 2.5%. So that would have been a decent day trade had we caught that in the 7 o'clock hour this morning. That is not what is before us at the moment. What we have is a squeeze, very little distance between the Bollinger Bands, and pretty much sitting on the SMA line. This is my least favorite scenario. So what do? If we want to trade this, if we think it's going to dip again down to where it was earlier today, might want to put an alert. Say here around 8.6 cents where this support is. It's good to buy at support. Another option would be to go to our 15-minute chart like I was talking about on Friday and last Monday. And put an alert here on our divergence indicator. Looking for positive divergence. Usually you use the 1 per bar close and click create. Or you can do that at the 20 level on the MFI or the 30 level on the RSI. These are so you can see when these indicators dip and start to come back, that's a good sign that there's some momentum pushing the candle action up. So, well, actually,
Excuse
it's
me,
not pushing the
CJ.
candle. It's indicating that the candles are moving.
When you set that alert, you didn't give it a name. Was that intentional or was that just because you were doing it quickly?
I was doing it quickly. I usually give an alert based on the information source. So, like I've been doing a lot of the next thing we'll look at is the long-term sentiment sort. So I might call. So you can see it's if I type in long-term sentiment buy. So that tells me the information source, but it doesn't really matter. You call it whatever you want to fit your, how you're organizing your trades and logging them. So, but I don't always give it a name. I mean, it does give you some information when the alert goes off anyway. It tells you the coin and usually the indicator that it's based on. So, all right, so that's Raven. Well, since we don't have any AA scores.
On Friday, whatever one we were talking about, and you said that looks real good. I did that. I don't
Okay.
remember what it was now. I've done too many since then, but I bought that and it closed before 6:30 because my time, which meant it closed within 45 minutes.
Sweet.
So I bought it on the call and then, yeah, it was cool.
All right.
It was real good.
Did you buy it like right after or during, or did you buy it like based on one of the indicators? During, okay.
During, based on, because you said you were going to set a time and I went, no, that looks good right now. So
yeah, we had a 1, 2, 3 dip on Friday. And it was starting to come back, I think. I can't remember what it was though.
But it closed because remember we had the call right after it and it was not even at the half-hour mark of that call and it had already closed. And I was like, yes, all right, it's a good thing.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love to help my peeps make money.
Yeah.
What's an
Thank you.
Natalie, did you ask a question?
So I understand the chart. What's an elder impulse?
The elder impulse is this. So if you hover your cursor, it'll tell you what it is. But generally, it's a combination of trend and momentum based indicators. So, how I view this is sentiment is the word on the street. How do you feel? How does Twitter feel about this token? And then the elder impulse is the technical indicators, like those indicators we were looking on the charts. So sentiment, the word on the street. Daily elder impulse is the technicals. So I'm simplifying it, but that's generally how it works. So we've had some success with this long-term sentiment source because if people are talking about something, most likely they're buying it or have bought it. So on the very bullish side, on the long-term sentiment sort, we've got these guys: Beam, Digibyte, Steam, and Reef. I've really only traded Digibyte before, so let's look at that one. See if it's in my list. It is. All right, let's look at the day chart, get the big picture. A lot of the charts look like this. Actually, that's where I want to go. From November. big drop. On the hour, pretty big drop since the 5th. It's been up to almost 3.5 cents, down to 2.7 now. Did have some resistance here on the 8th. 2.9 cents. More here on 2.86. So what can we do with this now? Oh man, more squeezes. Yeah, this is not good entry points. This is just going sideways and not much movement. And Bollinger Bands are really squeezy. What we like are these kind of dip sequences and a strong move up. Like here's a good move here. 1.4%, and it drops about 4.5, comes back up. This is pretty crazy today. And then, you know, at the top of the Bollinger Band, you got 2.5%, not bad. So again, if you want to trade it, it's just like the last one I showed you. Either put an alert down here in the support area, 2.6 cents. We've already got the MFI below the 20 on the 5-minute chart. Rather see this happen on the 15-minute chart. So you can put your alert down here on 20 or on the RSI on 30, or you could right click on here, get that divergence, positive divergence if you want to do a spot trade. And when that alert goes off, look at your other indicators, make sure they agree, and then you're good to go. So, any questions on Digibyte? Let's see. Let's look at another one on Altcoin Alert. We did a long-term sentiment sort. We did an AA score. Another sort we like to do is it's been a while since I've done the social activity. It's kind of similar to the long-term sentiment, but God, it's a little pokey today. Sometimes we'll get a very bullish long-term sentiment and a bullish elder impulse daily. When those line up, that's usually a pretty good sign.
Don't change it yet. Can I just ask a question?
Sure.
If you go back to the top, right? This is what I don't understand with this. See how the AA score is 70.7. It says it's bullish, but then everything else is bearish. So I don't understand how to look at that.
Well, I talked about this on Friday a little bit, and maybe you didn't quite catch it, but the AA score is trying to predict the future. So ignore everything else when you're looking at the AA score. So if we're sorting by AA score, we just got the very bullish on Raven coin that we looked at first. And someone mentioned that it just hit very bullish. But now that we have very bullish, what it's telling us, AA is saying there's an 81.2% chance that based on the current circumstances that have happened in the past, we should get a 3% increase in this coin in the next 48 to 72 hours. That's what the AA score tells us. You ignore everything else. Now, we have these other columns full of data. We can use these to find trades as well. Because as you can see, we've only got one that's very bullish and it's low. It's 81. You know, I want to see like 85, 88, 92, stuff like that. And you know, below 80, I don't even look at usually. So unless I'm matching it up with something else. So that's why I do some of these other sorts. And to be candid, I've used this long-term sentiment sort more. I've made actual trades more off this than I have off the AA score. So, yeah, no changes there really. And then I wanted to show you one more sort that we can use this. Yeah, that's what I want. All right, so we got all this fire on social activity. We still have quite a bit of bearish activity. So if I can find fire and bullish on the elder impulse, which we learned earlier are the technical indicators, and then bullish on the long-term sentiment, like this one, UTK, it's been moving today. It's up 11%. Might be played out already. I usually like to see, 15% or below, which this qualifies, like 8 or 9% is ideal. But we can look at this UTK. I'm not familiar with it, but let's see what we can do with it. All right, it's on Binance. Big picture. It's been trading between 68 cents and like 27 cents. That's a big range. That's not very useful. Let's go to the hour. Okay, it's recovered most of the losses from, well, that's not necessarily from the 6th anyway, but most of the coins pumped on the 4th or the 5th. But it's only down 12% from there. That's better than most of the coins we've looked at. So this one's held in there pretty well. The 5-minute, yeah, more squeeziness. Yeah, less than 3% between the Bollinger Bands. So when you see a squeeze like this, you just don't know where it's going. When it's sitting on the SMA line, that's neutral. That's the neutral zone. I mean, it's hard to predict what it's going to do. So that's why we like these dip sequences so much. When they ride the bottom of the Bollinger Bands, they tend to bounce off more times than not. So if you want to trade this, same routine, put your, we did get bullish divergence. It's a couple hours ago. Yeah, it's probably too far away to be useful, but put your alert on here. Change it to positive for a spot trade. Go to your 15. Actually, you should do that on the 15-minute chart. Yeah. Put your alert here or down here on the MFI at 20 or down here on the RSI at 30. Or there's some pretty good support today, this level here, right around 34, 35 cents. That might be another good place to catch it. So any questions on UTK?
When you do if you were to put that trade in, right, you're setting it for low for when it goes up, but do you do a limit to a sell at the same time as when you're buying? Like, do you set your top to sell at the whatever percentage?
Frequently, like let's say I put an alert, down here around 35 cents.
Yeah.
And that alert triggered. I went to my computer. I liked what I saw. Otherwise, and so I go ahead and enter the trade at 35 cents. Most likely that's going to happen like around here, probably 10 or 11 tonight, my time. So if I got in at 35 cents, I'm seeing resistance right here at 39 cents, 35 cents to 39 at 11%. That's really good. I probably wouldn't be that aggressive. I might use the SMA line as, of course, it would be trending down. So, I look for resistance through past price action to determine where I get out. And I frequently, probably 80 to 90% of the time, I'll put my sell order in right after my buy order based on, this kind of analysis.
Okay.
And I usually look for 2 or 3 different areas of resistance. One could argue we have some resistance here too, around 36.5 cents. That might be another good place to get out. 35 cents to 36.5 would be a couple percent probably. Yeah, right around 4.5%. That's a really good day trade. So that would be another option as well. Sometimes I'll put a alert just saying like where it is. Just, I don't even, may not even name it, create it. And so when that goes off, you know, I look at my chart to see what the indicators are doing, what the candle price action is, and then make a determination if I'm going to get out there, or what I'll often do there is put a stop loss in, protect some of my profit, then, you know, raise the target. So,
Thank you.
all right. Any questions on Altcoin Alert before we move to Altcoin, or Altcoin Alert before we move to iCoinPro? I think I almost said AltcoinPro. Yeah. All right. Let's see what we have over here. Let's start with RSI SPY. And what I like to see here, if I'm looking for a spot trade, are values on the 1 hour RSI of 30 and below. Don't really have that much of that because we've had a pretty good recovery this afternoon.
You said
When I looked at this morning, this was all green all the way down. So those would have been a lot of good trades. Now, if I want to short something, I'll sort of the opposite. I'm looking for value 70 and higher. And this near USDT could be a candidate. I'm looking for volume of usually about 10 million or more. This is really good volume. And so let's open this chart. I got the drop down menu, and it'll open the trading view chart on near USDT pair on on Binance. So all right, let's go back to the 1 hour chart. Got resistance here around $17, support 13. So that's my trading range between 13 and 17 on the 1 hour. The 5 minute. Got 1, 2, 3. This could be a candidate right now for a short. Unfortunately, I don't trade on Binance anymore, and I'm not aware of where else near would be for a short. But if you have access to a derivatives platform and you want to short this one's got potential. If you're not quite sold on it yet, because it does seem to be pumping up a little bit, you can go to your 15-minute chart. And yeah, actually it's already got some divergence here, 15 minutes ago. So you might want to right click and maybe wait for another alert. I've done that before. Negative's already there by default. Click on create, you're good to go on your 15-minute chart. You could also put an alert up here above 80. Another alert here above 70. And try to catch this on a short.
Hey, CJ, I got a quick question.
Near is on Bybit, by the way.
Yeah, I was just going to say the same.
Oh, it is on Bybit?
Yeah.
I
You
should
can
know
do
that, shouldn't I?
derivatives on that.
I didn't know that. I looked at the Bybit list today. I did not see it.
What's
Okay.
by?
It's one of your alerts in TradingView if you set it all up.
Yeah, I'll have to look at that. Thanks for that. All right.
Hey,
Shannon's
CJ,
asked.
I got a quick question.
Okay.
Do you ever use like on KuCoin, like those 3x shorts or the 3x longs on there?
Yeah, I think you're talking about leverage tokens.
Yeah.
That's what I call and those are, to answer your question, yes, I traded them a lot in 2020 and in the first half of 21. I liked them a lot and traded them all the time, and did pretty well and pretty terribly. It's just like just like my regular leverage trading. But
they turn pretty toxic after a little while, don't they? With the fees and all that, the daily fees.
Yeah, you gotta get in and out within a few days, or you can't hold it like a, like a spot token. They say you can, but there's some behind the scenes stuff. It recalibrates. I got burned badly on a couple of those. So,
Right.
so I don't do them anymore, but I've been meaning to go back to KuCoin. I messed up a derivatives trade there and got liquidated when I wasn't watching something. So it kind of shied me away, but I'll probably go back to it and just, pay attention more. I had too many things going on at the time. All right. Shannon's
you.
asking
Can I ask
me,
what-
where do
Can I
you
ask
do
why you
most?
don't like this near anymore?
I don't like what?
Why you don't like near as a short right now? I see that the divergence was one candle before, but the fact that it just pumped a little bit, doesn't that make it even a better candidate for short after that pump?
Could be. I like to see some evidence of the coin going in the direction I want first. So,
Okay.
so we have a little bit of that with the candle here, rejecting this high twice, but that a 5-minute candle isn't quite persuasive enough to me in and of itself. I'd want to
Okay.
see the MFI pointing down. I want to see the RSI pointing down. So I'm willing to get, in a little later, even if it's not as good, to be a little safer. So
Understood. Thank you.
yeah, but yeah, I like the setup so far. It's got potential.
Can I ask one other thing? What maybe I missed it. I didn't catch the very beginning. What determines whether you do a spot or a leverage trade?
Well, number one is experience. So you should be a very experienced spot trader before you even consider leverage. But I've been talking around leverage the last 6 months, and I just can't, be really. It seems disingenuous since that's how I trade most of the time. But a lot of the concepts are the same. So it's just managing risk is much more intense when you're trading leverage. So trading spot, when you have success at that, consistent, sustained success, then you might be ready for moving up into leverage. But the emotional part is a significant adjustment. So
Yeah, I've actually I've been trading spot for a couple of years, and I just
Mhm.
started with Kevin the leverage stuff, and
Mhm.
I'm still having a little bit of difficulty wrapping my head around the whole concept of leverage, but I'm sure I'll get it eventually.
Yeah. Well, the spot trading is helpful experience for that kind of thing. And I did make a spot trade today on Coinbase Pro. I bought ACH based on the Binance listing. It had already been listed on Coinbase, so we'll see how that plays out. But yeah, that's and my swing trades are spot trades usually too. So
Gotcha.
all right, let's see. We were on iCoinPro. All right, so we looked at near as a short. If you want to buy this as a long, if you think it's going to keep pumping, buying at the top of the Bollinger Bands a bit risky. You're going to want to look at some of the longer time frames. You were looking at the hour earlier. It could go back to this area here around $17. But it'd probably take a couple days to do that. So it's sort of a swingy, kind of a swing trade more than a spot, in my humble opinion. But all right, any questions on
DJ?
near?
DJ, just looking at that chart, it just looks like it's starting to widen in the Bollinger Band. So from my experience, it looks like it could actually go up to the 17 or somewhere around there. So I'd be very reluctant to go into that until, like you say, until there's clear evidence that it's reached the top.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to. I agree, and I'd want to see some evidence of a return, of coming back. I'm on the hour chart now.
You look at those Bollinger Bands, and they just look like they're opening up into a widening up, which means it could just go up and up and up.
That's true.
Yeah.
So Craig's right. You want to, and I think we're in agreement on this. You want to see some evidence of a return back down before you do a short.
Yes.
Your RSI peaking out, or your MFI, coming to the peak over those lines. They're not over those top lines yet. It usually turns after it goes over the top lines.
Yeah,
So,
let's that reminds me of something you mentioned on Friday. I think it's a good idea to focus on is a little more precise, making an alert. Like I'm on the MFI now. I want it to cross down on the 80 value. So if I do that, got my alert here now, so it'll go up above maybe 85 or 90, and then when it's coming down, most likely I'll have the indicator values I want to go into a short on this. So I think I'm going to leave that. As opposed to just the cross, which that will trigger if it's going up. Well, you don't want to buy short if it's going up. You want to, like we said earlier, see evidence of it's going in the direction that you want. All right, I think we made that point.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And let's look at one more. Actually, let's look at the Buddy coin crawler on iCoinPro. This will tell us the coins that are moving.
Is iCoinPro one of your services?
Yeah.
I saw you sent an email. I didn't get a chance to read it, but I didn't know if that was proprietary.
Yeah.
Or
Have you seen the 1-2-3 dip training from iCoinPro? That's usually a prerequisite for attending the Zoom. So, because I want you at least to have some basic knowledge of that trading strategy, because we talk about it all the time. And iCoinPro has done an hour-long training on it, very detailed, and a lot of people come onto the Zoom and they don't know anything about day trading. So iCoinPro is an excellent way to learn. That's pretty much all they teach. Very conservative. You pile up 1%, 2% gains, and you build your balance slowly. I think it's an excellent way to learn day trading. So if you're interested in that, you may want to check out some of their other services. The bare minimum, watch that free training on the 1-2-3 dip. So, and if you want to join and get access to these tools, the RSI SPY and the Buddy coin crawler, that's a decision you have to make. If you don't day trade much, then you probably don't need it. But if you do want to make 3, 4, 5 trades a day, it's something you may want to consider.
but I just really want to get a very good grasp on the whole picture before I start doing that, I think.
Okay. All right. Well, that's perfectly reasonable. Let's check it out. We have this is the Buddy coin crawler. I'm sorting by the average low to the SMA line. The low is a 24-hour low. The SMA line's that pink line you saw between the Bollinger Bands on my other charts. And we've got this Alchemy Pay ACH. This is the new listing I talked about. So actually I have that up here already, don't I? Yeah, I've got this one here. So yeah, I got in this at 75 cents. It's up to 77 now, or sorry, 7.5 cents. Up to 7.7 now. We'll see. I'm hoping I'm trying to ride this up, right around here. 8.9 cents is my goal. A day trade that might take 2 or 3 days. I don't know. But I have found this worked better back in November when the market was moving, in a positive direction more consistently. But a lot of times you get a new listing, there's that immediate pump, and we're almost always too late for that. Then there's a drop, and then there's another pump when the actual listing occurs. I've been catching those second pumps from time to time, so that's what I'm trying to do here on ACH. So it's pretty common for information from Altcoin Alert and iCoinPro to sort of agree with each other. So on Altcoin Alert, we had the SIGDEV about the ACH listing. And on iCoinPro, we've got this 13%. Buddy coin crawler percentage. I'm usually looking for 5% or above. This is almost triple that, so we like that. I don't know if it's too late to get into this yet or not. Like I said, I caught it at 7.5 cents, which is where I thought I saw some support. There's some more support here around 7.3 cents. That could be another option to get in there. Even though this looks pretty squeezy, there's actually 7% almost between the Bollinger Bands, so it's better than it looks. All right, let's look at Well, actually, shoot, this has flown by 45 minutes already.
Jeez.
Well, I think I'm going to wrap it up on iCoinPro then, unless anybody has any specific questions about it. Okay, I'll take one or two more general questions if you guys want about iCoinPro, Altcoin Alert, the market in general, or a coin or two you want to look at. Oh, Shannon asked me, where do you do most of your trading? I do my spot trading on KuCoin and Coinbase Pro, and I do my leverage trading almost entirely on Bybit and some on Phemex. So
Do you ever use Coinbase?
Coinbase Pro for spot. Yep, did it this morning.
Oh, I heard the Pro. My apologies. Yes. Okay.
Yeah, if you're trading at all on Coinbase, you shouldn't do so on Coinbase. You got to get over to Pro, and the fees are considerably lower. So plus you can set limit orders and things like that.
Are you
Greg,
able
can I
to
ask?
go ahead? Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Do you do stop loss orders with bots so that you're incurring money while you sleep with bots?
There is a bot program I'm involved with called Carbon. I'm going to talk about it next after this. Yeah, that's bots are pretty cool if you find one that works consistently. But then regarding your question about stop losses, I use them mostly to protect profit. When a trade goes against me, I'm more inclined to ladder buy or buy another position and try to save the trade and work my way out of it. So I don't, if I'm just scalping on a high leverage, then I'll use stop losses for that, because you can just get wiped out pretty quickly if you're wrong. And ladder buying in those situations is impractical. So that was a long answer to your question. So
I have long questions usually. So.
All right, let me look at the chat real quick.
Can I ask you a question, CJ?
Okay, sure, go ahead.
The because of Carbon, I just got introduced to Bybit, and I never was able to short before, and I love the ability to now short. So I'm curious, why do you prefer to trade on Coinbase Pro since you can't short there?
Well, we're talking about two different strategies. If I'm trading leverage, I'm trading on Bybit or Phemex. If I want to do a spot trade, it's usually because what I want to trade isn't available on leverage. Only a fraction of the coins are available on leverage. If you want to trade something new or newly listed, or if you want to buy a new project, these are all things you have to do on the spot level. So
Okay, I didn't know that.
Okay.
I didn't know they were limited. Thank you.
Yep, you're welcome.
Now the specific coin Shiba Inu, I know it's a meme coin, but I've been watching the volatility for the past 3 months since I've invested so much into it. What is your take on that coin?
Shiba Inu, yeah, it's a meme poop coin. So
right,
with little value other than it's
But my goddaughter's husband got in when it started. He made enough to pay off their house, $190,000.
You can. I have traded it. I'm not above trading. If I see movement to my liking, I will trade it, but I'm not going to hold it. So
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's about all I can do with that. All right, guys, I got to wrap this up for this this portion of the call.
Thank you for your help.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Don't forget pizza on Wednesday.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
That's right. For those of you in the Phoenix, Arizona area, we're going to be having a little pizza luncheon in Tempe. I'll send the details out probably tonight or tomorrow. That's only going to apply to a few people on this call. So.
And if you would like, you're welcome to fly in or drive in. It'll be fun.
Sure. If you live in Utah or Colorado, or I got a few people from Kansas, or maybe Cheryl
from Toronto.
Winging in from. Got Craig flying in from New Zealand. It'll be awesome.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'd love to be there.
On your hoverboard.
I would love to go to New Zealand.
All right, guys, I'm going to stop this portion of the recording here. Hang around for Carbon.